Wit it or quit it. Wit it, quit it.
What?
Wit it.
We about to turn up in this bitch.
All right, what am I winning or quitting today?
The Oklahoma City Thunder have traded Russell Westbrook to the Houston Rockets for Chris Paul and some picks, reuniting former MVPs Westbrook and James Harden for the first time since 2012. The Lakers have been pretty dysfunctional lately, but Joy, the Rockets are going to be the most dysfunctional team in the NBA next season. Wit it or quit it.
Most dysfunctional?
Dysfunctional.
Ooh, that's a little stumper there. I'm gonna quit it.
What? Who?
I'm gonna quit it.
Who?
There's always, well, first of all, the Lakers are going to have some issues. Like, that's just, I mean, come on. It's
you're
the
right,
perfect
Yes,
setup.
You're right.
We can see it. I can play it out. I can write it for you in a script.
If you
what's
can
going to
write it,
happen.
it can exist,
Like,
yes.
I mean, am I ready to say this? I don't think Frank Vogel finishes the season. I don't want to get like that far into it just yet. It's a little premature. I think the Sixers could have some issues. You know, there's some other teams out there. That I'm going to say something very dramatic right now.
Okay.
All right, I am rooting for the Rockets this season.
What? No, Joy. No. The Houston ones? You can't. How? Why? Westbrook. Oh, always comes down to Westbrook.
Here's the thing. Okay, now there's a lot going on here. All right. First of all,
Clearly.
everyone freaked out and was like, "Oh my God, James Harden, high usage rate. Russell Westbrook, high usage rate. Lots
are
of
the things.
turnovers." They have so many turnovers. It's like one after the other, the most turnovers ever.
Triple double.
But my thing is, it doesn't come down to Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Westbrook and Harden have known each other since high school. They were on the same Pangos All-American team together. They've known each other a very long time. They played 3 years together, including a finals in Oklahoma City. I know everyone forgets that the three of them were on a team together, Durant, Harden, and Westbrook, in Oklahoma City. It sounds crazy because how the hell could you have Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook on the same team, and now none of them, you don't have them anymore. It's not even been 10 years. They're all gone. Poof. They don't on a team anymore.
To be fair, the team was in Oklahoma
So what
City.
you're trying to tell me is that you drafted Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook, and none of them are on your team anymore, right?
But they got picks now.
Hella picks. So many
Right?
picks.
To just do that again, possibly.
So many picks. So
Maybe
anyway,
win.
my point is,
Yes.
everyone thinks that they're not going to work together, right? I don't see it that way. I think that Russell Westbrook was never a traditional point guard to begin with.
True.
So the issue is his shooting, right? Like they shoot the most threes of any team in the league. They are way into analytics, and this is not an analytics move, but it is a Daryl Morey move because he believes in getting the most stars. They were a championship level team for the past couple years. They just weren't able to get past the Warriors, which. Look, all right, so you're the Raptors of the West pre-Kawhi. Like, that's just facts. That's what you are.
Okay.
That's what you are. You couldn't get past LeBron. Rockets couldn't get past the Warriors. It's just like that's how it is. But the Warriors are not constructed the same way as they have been in the past.
Right.
So this is your year. They didn't lose any of their X factor pieces in order to get him. They lost some picks, which whatever. Who cares about picks? Everyone's stockpiling all these picks. Great. Do something with them. Like, I mean, they are valuable, but
Right.
I would prefer to have Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is an incredible upgrade from Chris Paul. Obviously, Chris Paul is a better shooter.
Yes.
But make it
Three-point shooter
work.
only,
When I
pretty
look
much.
at this situation, I don't see Russell Westbrook and James Harden clashing heads, and there's too much personality in the room, and Westbrook's going to want to come and take over the team. And it was clear that there were issues with Westbrook and the OKC situation from the very beginning, okay?
Right.
And it never worked there. It was never going to work there. It's not all on Westbrook. As I mentioned before, you had Kevin Durant and James Harden. Okay? Like, give me a break. Westbrook can't do everything. He can't play every game, average a triple-double, and put the team together. At some point or another, Sam Presti and Billy Donovan have to take some blame for what's gone on in this situation. And all this talk about, like, oh, well, you know, he has all this power and control, and he makes all these decisions. You got him. You drafted him. He didn't come into the league as LeBron James. You created the environment that allowed him to make all these decisions. Now you want to complain? You're the one who gave him all the power. You're the one that said that was okay. You're the one that turned the franchise over to him. At one point or another, build a culture that makes sense. Hello? If they come to me here at Fox, like, you get to make all the decisions. Awesome. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like, you know what? That's
Yeah.
very gracious,
Yes.
but I'd prefer if someone else made all the decisions for me.
We don't know.
Where do they do
exactly-
that at? Where do they do that at? Nowhere. That's where. It doesn't even make sense. It makes no sense. So the situation in Houston falls on one person and one person only, and that is Mike D'Antoni. Now, I've made it very clear, I think that his whole situation is very overrated. That's not saying that he's not a good coach. That's not saying that he hasn't had success, although ultimate success to me is measured by championships.
So he debatably hasn't.
Okay, fine. However you want to look at it. But this is the year. Like, you have Russell Westbrook, who is healthy and a star. You have James Harden. You have your X Factor pieces. The Warriors have been at least temporarily wounded. They don't have Klay Thompson. They don't have Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
This is the year. This is the situation. I don't want to hear about the Clippers, and I don't want to hear about LeBron. Like, you guys have been rolling like this, and you still have your main star in James Harden that you were rolling with before. So I want to see what happens. I genuinely, I know Rockets fans have had problems with me before, but it's a new day, okay? Just like I used to get on the Raptors, and it was a new day when Kawhi got there. I think this is a great situation for Houston. I want Russell Westbrook to win a championship. And if it means James Harden's going to win a championship too, great. So that's how I feel about it. Like, I want Westbrook to win a championship, and I actually do want James Harden to win a championship too, because it's so frustrating to have conversations about all-time great players and then have to end it with, but they didn't win a championship, so let's just like take all these things off of their resume, because you know, they were tough to play with, and they weren't good locker room guys. Like, if you win a championship, you can just erase all of those silly intangibles off the table. So I think it falls on D'Antoni, because whatever the system is, it gets lots of points and everybody's stats go up and all that. That's real cute. Get yourself to the playoffs and make the adjustments that you need. And more importantly, assign appropriate roles. Westbrook is not uncoachable. He just needs to be in a situation where he feels supported and he feels listened to and he feels like he can play his game and play with people that understand how he plays, which James Harden knows because they've known each other forever. You think the two of them are just like walking in here like, it's going to be my team. No, it's going to be my team. No, it's James Harden's team.
Well, the reason James Harden wanted to leave OKC in the first place is because he thought he could finally run a team. He could finally call his shots and have a team.
And he was right.
The Rockets are that. So to bring Westbrook back into the equation seems problematic. And the same thing you said about Frank Vogel, I think is going to happen with Mike D'Antoni. I don't see him coaching the Rockets in the playoffs at the end of the day, because they're not going to. If there's any static between Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Mike D'Antoni, who's the weakest link in that equation?
Mike D'Antoni, of course.
Exactly. I think he's going to get plucked and get moved on out. But this may be the first time we've seen Russell Westbrook with real shooters outside of the year of Paul George. So that's what I'm most interested in. When he drives in and kicks out, some of those people are going to make those.
Yeah, and let's not forget, okay, because everyone wants to like pick on Westbrook's three-point average and all that stuff, which is fine and fair.
Especially
and the free throws.
Year.
But he averaged a triple-double. One of those statistics is assist. He's a great passer. So there's great shooters on that team, clearly, because that's what they do. That's their whole mantra. So I do think it will work. I think it falls on D'Antoni to assign appropriate roles, to get everyone on the same page. Whether he's that guy to make that happen or not, I don't know. But to me, like, this is the team I'm watching and like actively rooting for to have success this particular year. I love the Clippers too, but I really do, because I want to see Westbrook win a championship. I do.
Yeah, and Clint Capella is ready to score more than Steven Adams was, and Westbrook loves passing to a center. So it'll be interesting. Rooting for the Rockets.
So you know what? It's all about growth in life.
Okay. Moving on.
I was very right about the Raptors.
I like
Don't
this.
forget that.
The last 4 NBA seasons have given us 4 different MVPs not named LeBron James. Very sad. Steph is finally the best Warrior again. Harden has Westbrook, Kawhi has Paul George, Dame has CJ, and AD has LeBron. I know it's super duper early, but Joy, with LeBron's help, Anthony Davis will win the MVP next season. Wit it or quit it?
Quit it.
What you?
Anthony Davis is not going to win the MVP next season. This is super duper early. We are aware how early it is because they literally gave Giannis the MVP, I think, like 3 weeks ago.
He just asked y'all to stop calling him it, though.
Right. So he has actually announced it's now time to predict next year's MVP.
Right. Exactly.
Giannis said so.
Giannis,
yes. Thank you, Giannis, for the content. Giannis is not going to win MVP next season, and it's because he plays for Milwaukee. And that's the facts, and you can hate how that sounds, but I'm telling you how the rest of the world operates, and that's not going to work. It
Although
doesn't.
He just did for that team.
Right.
Okay.
But now we're done with that.
Okay, no,
we
I
moved
agree.
on.
I agree.
Now, Giannis would have to have the greatest statistical season in the history of the NBA. They would have to lose 2 games the entire season in order for him to win the MVP again. Maybe they lose 3 and they're still on, like they might give it to him.
Man.
He's not going to win back-to-back
Win it or
MVPs.
quit
And that's
it.
not a knock. He will be better than he was next year. Okay,
He's gonna have to be.
said he's only at 60%.
Yeah, he's gonna
but
have
it's
to be.
that's just not how the MVP award works anymore.
Right.
Now, he has the best odds to win the MVP right now, followed by Steph Curry. Steph Curry is interesting because Colin and I were talking about today, like there's might be some sympathy there for Steph Curry because he lost Kevin Durant. He doesn't have Klay Thompson. And while I do think there will be a little bit of that, I also think there's a tremendous amount of Warriors fatigue. So
Yes.
even though I think they're going to be a lot better than people think, I think D'Angelo Russell is huge for them, and everyone for some reason forgot D'Angelo Russell is good and functional
Right.
now. I don't know why
All-star.
everyone's like trying to act like he just came from the Lakers or something. He was in an All-Star game. He just led Brooklyn to the playoffs. I don't know. That's an incredible move for them. It seems like everyone's just kind of glossing over it because they think he's going to be traded. Like, who cares? They're going to be great when Klay Thompson
While he's
gets
on the
back.
team.
Right,
Yes.
while he is there. He's going to fit right in. It's going to be fine. So, but I just don't see, because of the Warriors' fatigue, unless Steph, again, has a year like Giannis, that they give it to him.
All right.
I think you're right, but maybe by the end of the year. Because I think the Warriors, by the end of the season, will start to be likable again. And then by the time we go into next year, because there was a time a few years ago when it was just the Splash Brothers and Draymond talking a little ish, and we were everyone's second favorite team. The Warriors were everyone's second
feel like
favorite team.
sympathy's
And
on
I
the
think
side of
I
the
think it'll come
Warriors.
back because they're still going to be. It's basically returned to that core. It'll be interesting to see, but I think you're right.
It's possible. It's possible that we forget how much everyone hated the Warriors.
The tide's out.
Yeah.
And it will come back in.
It's possible. But my thought on the super duper early MVP conversation is I think they give it to Kawhi Leonard.
You can't just give it to Kawhi.
Well,
He's got to earn it and play in the regular season to get it.
Okay, so that's the pushback, right? That he's going to. I don't know how many games he's going to take off this year. Now, he took 20 off last year, but he was coming off of that injury.
Right.
So that was kind of part of the deal. I don't know that he's going to take that many games off this year. He may just play less minutes during the regular season. Like, there are alternatives here. He's going to have some kind of load management, as all of the stars are going
Especially
to,
after
as
the year.
they should, because as we have known for quite some time now, the NBA regular season is about getting into the playoffs, and for some teams, getting good placement in the playoffs. But for most teams, it's just get to the playoffs and then you figure it out, which is a smart way to do it because the NBA playoffs are extremely long. So as we learned with the Warriors, health is the most important thing. So I don't even feel like load management should be something that's held against you anymore. Like it's silly. We all know how this works. I get it. Like Giannis was available and that's great and he deserved the MVP, but I don't knock Kawhi Leonard for managing his body. He still had an incredible season. And I think because he didn't go to the Lakers, he's not going to have that cannibalistic effect on like how the Warriors did, because they all had MVP level seasons, but they all cannibalized each other in the MVP race. I think my pick is Kawhi Leonard at this point. I think that the Clippers are going to be the best team in the West, and I think they're going to be fun to watch. I think everyone loves that he Thanos the NBA and neutralized all of it. So the big three eras are done for the moment. And he didn't go to the Lakers and form this incredibly hateable super team. So I think that it's Kawhi Leonard at the end of the year.
It's just too easy. I feel like there's going to be a lot of
He's not
mocking.
favored.
There's going to be a lot of mocking of what Kawhi Leonard did.
James Harden has better
games-wise.
odds at this point.
Because he has someone who has averages 10 assists a game, an all-star just jumping on the team.
James Harden's going to have an incredible statistical season, but he's not going to be MVP.
And he will. It's basically going to be like this. The all-stars who aren't looking for MVPs, they're going to play as many games as Kawhi did last year. Kawhi's probably going to sit out and chill. Because Kawhi, let's not forget, was injured during the playoffs and still carried the team the entire way. So I think a lot of people are going to try to mimic that amount of games played, and then there's going to be one or two guys actually going for the MVP race, and we'll pay attention to those guys. It may both be on the Rockets.
So who do you think it is?
I'm AD.
You think Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis is 26 years old.
You think they're going to give an MVP
James,
to Anthony Davis?
I think he'll
LeBron
take
James
it.
on
I
his
think
team?
he'll take it. I think LeBron is going to focus. Just how Westbrook focused in on trying to have Paul George win MVP last year, I think LeBron trying to get AD, convincing him that it was the right move to go to the Lakers, to play for the Lakers, to dominate. LeBron moving from the point guard, removing him away from the basket farther so Anthony Davis has more options to score. Yeah, I think with LeBron James' help, Anthony Davis will be the MVP next year.
LeBron tried to give him his number. Why wouldn't he give him MVP?
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Oh, Jesus.
That said, before we move on from this MVP conversation, can we just please give out the MVP at the end of the regular season? Please.
Yes.
Okay, just do it.
Please.
As soon as the season is over, put the whatever you guys do, I don't know how you vote. We'll ask Chris Broussard. All right, put it in the voting machine. Okay, and then out comes the answer.
Right.
Give the MVP as soon as the season is over. However many days this is before the playoffs start, that's when you do it. We can discuss the amazing regular season that we just witnessed, how excited we are for the playoffs.
Yes.
We can celebrate the person who won MVP. It's not going to matter. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're not going to care, just like they don't care when we all know who it is. Anyway, so just give it away. Dragging it out until the end of June is nonsense. It completely eliminates the fun and the buzz of it because we all already know who it's going to go to.
Yes.
And then we all act surprised at the awards. They're still going to give an amazing speech. They're still going to appreciate the award. The only difference is they're not going to be dragged through the conversation of, well, their team didn't win the championship, so is it really the MVP? Yes, because it's a regular season award. So I have a solution, okay? Obviously, and everyone's on board with that, right? Like, we all agree the MVP needs to be given out at the regular season. Yes. Okay, we're done. Moving on. We make the rules. That's what you need to do.
Yes.
The second thing is, if it bothers you so much that you have to give out an award at the NBA awards that you feel like everyone doesn't know who it is, give out a playoff award. The best player in the playoffs. And it doesn't have to be the person who won a championship. For example, Kevin Durant could have easily won the best player in the playoffs
On
award.
crutches, for
That's
sure.
not what we're going to call it because that is a terrible name. But we'll figure out whatever the name is for it and give it to that person.
Make it a fan vote.
And then you can vote on that at the end of the playoffs. Or before the finals start, whenever you want to, and then give that at the NBA awards, and people won't know who that is.
Yes.
That'll be exciting. It's a prestigious award. It's all about being clutch and performing in the big moments.
At this point in time, the people who have NBA MVP votes are in the media, and we hear them say their vote over and over and over again, and it's a collection.
So you know who it is.
We know who's winning.
I've now sorted through it. Give it right before the NBA finals start because then you're gonna you'll diminish the NBA Finals MVP, right?
Yes.
So give it right or just vote on it, not give it, but vote on it right before the finals start. So then whatever happens in the finals doesn't influence the vote.
I think ideally it's not because they want it to be someone who's currently still playing and deep into the playoffs. So that's a distraction. Like, I'm trying to think of why they don't do it at all. Like,
they do it because they want to announce it at the awards, which is silly. It makes no sense.
You can still have the awards.
You can still have the awards.
You can tweet it
Do
when the regular
just
season
give
is
it
over.
like it's just as soon as it's done, let us know. Do a playoff MVP award before the finals start, so you still have the finals MVP. It's just more awards. It's great. Everyone loves more awards, right? It's
Fix
great.
it.
I just fixed it for you.
Yeah.
Just please stop it.